about top 5 within a 1/10 of a second? I say that Eddles back to the top and really puts a gap on the rest of the field between himself and Team Garrett. Those drivers going to have to find something to be able to close in on those front two. And talking about Chambers just a little bit before checkered flag hits, it seems like the pack behind him, Caleb, are really starting to close in. So now you're going to help those guys and give them a draft, and obviously going to push you further down the field than what you wanted. So if you're Chambers, you're probably looking at that pack closing in, probably want to back off sooner rather than later to try and get some sort of draft effect to help your qualifying.
Yeah, these two kids have been really fast, going back and forth, trading that fast time, only a thousandth in between them. Emmett now rounding up the last corner. Here we go for Emmett and Dean Guerrier. Boloya seems like his group wasn't able to improve, but checkered flag going to be out for them. Eddles, can he go any better on this last time around? It was a 57.4. Wait for it to update. I don't think they improved there, Nate. Neither did anybody else, though. Boloya still further back. We'll see if they get another lap. That's going to be the interesting part here, to see if we still have drivers that did make it across in time to get one more lap, and I think we are going to see that first group of Eva Blem, Boloya, Chambers, all across the line one final time. We'll wait for it here. As here's Chambers, here's Boloya, here's Eva Blem. This time by, checkered flag in the air. Can anybody improve? Chambers doesn't go better. Boloya to the top. A 57.354 for Rodrigo Boloya. Steals it in the end. Eva Blemna fourth. And you see the shuffling there, the 360. Pick it up where he left off. In Amarillo on pole position here in qualifying. Presented by TV Kart USA. Track after post-race, but he finds himself fourth here on the racetrack. Jake French now making a couple of moves. Chloe Roussel looking to go on rookie Ethan Gonzalez here as well.
Yeah, everyone trying to find where they want to get their laps down in KA Senior. Everyone opening the gaps up a bit more than what we've seen in the other classes this morning. Everyone just wants their piece of real estate to get their head down and get themselves as far up the field as possible. See there, John Burke, like we were saying, the driver who won it on track at Amarillo, lost it after post-race penalties, after a lot of talk between the teams and the series that finally gave Aiden Rudolph the win, I believe, in that one. But making the move up the inside to get some more clear air for John Burke, as I believe there's only a couple more karts to go to get him to the front of this pack. Seems like he's going to be content to ride in second here, Caleb, to see where they finish on the second time of going in qualifying. Vasquez Jr. fastest on the opening lap, and Din Burke your top three as they'll cross the timing and scoring line yet again. We'll get a grasp as where they are on track. John Burke seems fast right now on that TD Kart USA, making another pass. He's third on the time sheets at the moment, but just looking at that car compared to the rest of the field, that's going to be a contender for pole here.
Yeah, I mean, again, we walked the paddock yesterday, we walked it this morning. The name that everybody's been talking about in KA Senior has been Jesus Vasquez Jr., right? He talked about last year being here, missing it out a little bit on the end to Peyton Phillips, who was able to win. But Vasquez made it interesting for us, right? Stacked the field up, got the racing going, and again, he said that's kind of the name of the game when you come to a place like this where it's so easy to pass. And again, he's one of the drivers said that him and his dad, Jesus Vasquez Sr., put a lot of work at home to build a good engine package here. 9691 to Roussel, to Burke, to Taylor Roddy, Michael Haymans up to the top five. So a little bit of shuffling here. Santi Duran, unfortunately, is up there on his own. Not going to have a draft, so. But Jesus Vasquez, currently the quickest on the racetrack here, Nate.
Yeah, Vasquez has had a strong couple of weekends on the regional and national scenes. You think to give GFC another big win here in Crescent, Texas. Couple laps to go for these KA 100 seniors. Vasquez still fastest on track as things stand. Sawyer Roussel, John Burke, your top three. No real changes there, Caleb, for this first group of our KA 100 seniors presented by Kart CRG USA. We'll see if any of these guys can improve, or if we might see a couple drivers diving into the pit lane knowing they can't improve on time.
Here we go. You want to be careful as well how early you want to dive in, because there is a whole second group that is getting set to go out. And again, you have the likes of Jose Carlos. The checkered flag in the air this time by. Vasquez still holds on to the top spot. Nobody really improving the last time around here, Nate. Time starting to come in now. No improvement. Jesus Vasquez holds on to the provisional pole of 49.691 over Roussel, to Burke, to Roddy, to Haymans, to Ibrahim Din at the racetrack KA senior class. Finds himself currently 6th. To Santi Duran, Jake French only 8th. Back to Preston Pico, Ethan Gonzalez. Yeah, you just don't see that, or just didn't have the outright pace here in qualifying.
Unfortunate for the Arcane Machine.
Yeah.
Had the chance to talk to him a little bit yesterday. Just said how frustrating of a season it was. It's been about a year since he got his last win from here. Exactly. And just wants to get that win and finally get on the top step yet again. But unfortunate for him to be so far down, but he's a winner on the national level, winner at the regional level. He'll be a driver to look out for making through the field. One quick thing to note is, like we saw, a lot of these drivers, the final couple of laps, not improving. Sure, a lot of the drivers on the grid there will have seen that, and we might see more drivers decide to cut their quality. Now they'll be trying to dethrone Jesus Vasquez Jr. Currently finds himself on pole, but that is a huge ask, isn't it, Caleb?
Yeah, 49.6. That's the time, right, that everybody's going to be chasing here in this qualifying session. We follow along. First one out, Landon Skinner. Aiden Rudolph just right behind him. It looks like one of the rookies. I think Tyler Roberts. Maybe the rookie that's just right behind him. Joey Friend in there as well. And yeah, Rudolph's going to get passed actually there by Roberts, I believe.
And Rudolph backing down to be with his Kart CRG USA teammates in that second battle pack. You have the two GFCs leading the of other kart manufacturers further back. Just in music, one of those further back as well on board the Arcane machine. But we'll see if Landon Skinner can do anything from P1 on track right now. He's had an impressive season thus far, but be wanting to get further up on the timesheets than what he's been this season here, Caleb. Be interesting to see if anyone can top the time of Jesus Vasquez Jr. Personally, I think Aiden Rudolph is going to be one of those drivers to be able to challenge, but Landon Skinner, don't count him out either.
Yeah, I mean, rookie Tyler Roberts puts himself in a really good position here as well. So I have my eye kind of set on him here as we get to the front straightaway. First couple laps now. It's a temp, right? So that's a lap that actually Vasquez went quickest, was lap number 3. So again, we'll wait for that one here as well. 49.6. Again, time to look out for, time to keep an eye on, time to beat here. Skinner now with no draft as Friend gonna make the pass on rookie Tyler Roberts. So we see drivers start to get themselves into the mix here. A couple of drivers already moving up. Adrian Cruz is up to 9th. And that's the first out of this group. That's highest up, Rudolph to 12th. So here we go, first couple laps. Here goes Jose Carlos on the main straight. Making a move there on Cohen Summers. And not much change just yet here, Nate. We'll wait for it to update as well. Rudolph went up to 9th. Joey Friend to 6th. Jose Carlos Hernandez, there he is, up to 4th. So wait for that to update on your screen as well. But Jose Carlos Hernandez on the Red Speed machine for Red Speed Racing Texas. Puts himself in.
These K100 seniors in Group 2. Jesus Vasquez Jr. still standing tall at the top of the pylon as things stand. Watching time and scoring to see if anyone populates at the top of that timesheet. At the moment, it's a no. Vasquez still at the top. Aiden Rudolph, though, is right there on Vasquez. P2 for the CRG machine that's leading points in the CRG KA100 senior. Sawyer Roussel still in that 3rd spot. John Burke 4th. Jose Carlos Hernandez in 5th. Joey Friend still holding strong in P7. That's an impressive run for Joey Friend, who maybe hasn't had the luck this season that he would have wanted. He's a driver who has pace here and there, but it's going to be a big run for Friend as see Aiden Rudolph coming out of the final corner. Can he improve upon his time? No checkered flag yet for this second group of K100 seniors. This is into laps 4 and 5 where we didn't see a whole lot of improvement, and we're not going to see that from Aiden Rudolph. Hernandez, though, up to P2 there, Caleb, but still over a 10th slower than Vasquez Jr.
Yeah, Vasquez, I think, you know, differently to what we're seeing with Rudolph and Jose Carlos. They had a huge draft. I mean, Vasquez did it, and now, you know, they don't have it. Now Jose Carlos, Aiden going to work together. Skinner drops the tire into the grass. He's going to lose that spot. So now it's going to be Hernandez and going to be Rudolph, who actually just towed him around for the last little sector of that lap. We'll see if Hernandez repays the favor for Rudolph here. The two of them work closely together over in Houston. We'll see how they work together here on the racetrack, this time by checkered flag in the air. And I think Rudolph's going to run out of time. Hernandez, I think, going to be the best one to do it. Does he have the pace in it to go faster than Vasquez? And I'm not sure he did here, Nate.
I don't think so. I think that was a strong run from Jesus Vasquez Jr. in the opening group. That should be pole position for him. GFC on pole here in KA100 senior. The driver who everyone has been watching in this class. Surprise, surprise, pole for the 977.
Yeah, Hernandez, they're up to 2nd. Skinner in 3rd. Just a mistake on that last lap. I guess looking at that theoretical, he's probably going to be kind of looking at that one at the end of it. But that being said, that's it for qualifying. That's it for our free coverage as well. We thank you guys for joining us here in the morning. We'll see you guys on the other side. KC Premium members, only $9.99 a month. Subscribe and watch all the racing action live. For myself and Nate Dean, We'll see you guys here in a couple of moments for racing action. But if you aren't joining us, we'll see you tomorrow morning, live bright and early, 8 a.m. for more warm-up action.
denying what we want. There's no denying what we want. Playing games, no. There's no denying what we want. There's no denying what we want. Playing games, no. There's no denying what we want. There's no denying what we want. Playing games, no. There's no denying what we want. There's no denying what we want.
Yeah.
What do you think the worst is?
What do you mean?
Like puddles. Is the puddles anywhere?
I can't really see it. It just kind of looks a little greasy, but I don't see any puddles.
Mikey, how's the track? What? Terry? What? Trying uphill. All right.
This is Henry. Henry feels sad. Henry feels sad because it's time for his next big race and his go-kart is in bits. Henry doesn't know that Acceleration Kart Racing is the United States' #1 shop for all of your karting equipment needs. Henry also doesn't know that Acceleration Kart Racing can deliver anything from tires to race suits and even wheels directly to your front door or to the racetrack itself quickly and efficiently, with tech support available 6 days a week. Poor Henry doesn't even know that Acceleration Kart Racing offers free shipping to mainland USA on selected product if you spend $200 or more. Do yourself a favor. Go to accelerationkarting.com and make sure that you are never left stuck on the pre-grid with Henry. Be smart and don't be like Henry.
Paulie Massimino wins in KA. Paulie Massimino is a winner in OKN Stars.
Take your driving to the next level with one-on-one coaching from 2024 OKN Stars champion Paulie Massimino. Kart rental options are available if you'd like to keep yours at home, and drivers in all classes are welcome, from Briggs 206 to Mini to KA100 and X30. With in-depth data analysis, onboard video footage review, and lead follow on-track sessions, each private coaching session will see you end as a more complete driver than when you started. Book your coaching session now.
goes.
Time to qualify here at Norway Motorsports Park for round number 3 of the Route 66 Sprint Series as the KA 100 Masters get set for 3-lap qualifying. Jackson Lambros in the broadcast booth, joined alongside Mr. KC, Kyle Cuthbertson, who had the opportunity to get some birthday laps in yesterday. A late happy birthday to you, Kyle. And walk me through what this very, very new track, very unique track is going to provide for these drivers.
Man, this is a chaotic circuit. This is an old school karting track that, I mean, it's just perfect. A bunch of elevation, lots of banked corners, kind of like a NASCAR track. Very narrow, you know, like something like you'd see. I kind of would say it's similar to like a Badger in how kind of narrow it is. Very tight. It's going to be hard to pass. A couple of these classes, I would say, are going to be elbows out. But yeah, this place is a blast.
So repaved last year from new ownership, a handful of renovations alongside that. But as you said, Kyle, it kind of maintains that old school vibe and feel. Still very narrow. This additional pavement we were talking about actually kind of levitates the track up over the curbs. A lot of this still untouched. So what this all kind of leads up to as a final verdict is overtaking is going to be at a premium. Not a lot of opportunities, and that just adds that extra bit of emphasis on this 3-lap qualifying session, not just for the KA 100 Masters, but for all of our classes here for Route 66 coming up.
Yeah, I think where you qualify is going to be super important with how tricky it is to pass around here. I think you're going to see a difference in the two different classes, though. I think in 206, The passing zones will be a little different than what you'll see in KA in the two-stroke classes. But yeah, this qualifying is super important.
Still waiting to go green here, but we'll show you guys the way around this absolutely iconic racetrack located here in Norway, Illinois, as the KA 100 Masters get set to fire off here in just a couple of moments' time. The IAME KA 100 power plant for the big guys.
Crazy old men, as Zayna likes
Crazy
to call
old
them.
men, as we like to call it. I think it's actually the 206 guys that get
Well,
that
I mean,
reservation.
I think it just goes over Masters in general to see them
Yeah.
taking off now. Track is still wet, of course. Let's take you through the story of the weekend so far. 3 sessions yesterday, 2 this morning. Well, we had 1 this morning. Huge rain shower came through. Big cell that had been forecasted for 3 days almost. We got lucky. It didn't truly hit. The bad stuff went south of us. It seems like most of the paddock is safe, which is what's the most important. But we've gone through a session of happy hour, and now you can see the dry spots on the track. You see Adam Kreppen going through the Monza right now. It's starting to dry out. Looks like still went for the wets. I might be wrong, but looks like he went for the wet still. We're kind of in that 50-50 zone where you could maybe try. But just taking a look at this circuit, you can see a couple bank corners going over the hill to the final 2. Last corner, flat out. Down the front stretch here. Yeah, I actually had a chance to drive this place yesterday. Turn 1, mainly flat. Little lift into 2. You can see still getting a feel for it. Probably checking out the wet spots into 3. 4 will be flat out as well. It's very flat, very... you have to put a lot of trust into the go-kart down the back straightaway into the Monza. The Monza is just one of the coolest corners in karting. You really drive it like a Bristol Motor Speedway where you're diamonding the corner through the banking,
So sick.
getting a good exit. Now, turn number 8 here, you're turning, braking, and it's the tightest, most technical part of the racetrack. You'll probably see a couple of passes there, and when they happen, it'll be elbows out. Turn 10 is just awesome. Banked flat out corner. 11 over the hill, get the kart nice and light and out of control into the final corner of turn 12, and that's a lap as we already get the white flag. Randy Klimek at the top. Adam Kreppen put himself, he drops down to 4th.
And now it's Nicky Coelho in the 481 who's leading us with 1 lap to go. And as you mentioned, track is still very damp right now, but we're kind of in that middle ground. Looking like everybody's still going on wets. Ooh, plenty of space on track right now, but these guys still managing to find the same piece of real estate as Coelho works his way around. Who is that behind?
That would be the 422 of Corey Dominic.
As looks like we do have a pretty good split of strategy here, Kyle. A couple guys choosing to make that jump over to the wet compound. Some guys having a little bit more confidence jumping back onto the slicks.
Seems to be paying off as Nicky Coelho is on the slick tire, as our producer Emery Lyda has pointed out to us. He put that thing on the pole on the dry. So yeah, it looks like it's a slick track now. As Coelho goes even better last time by. 4/10 on P2. I think, yeah, this is a dry racetrack.
Dean Leifheit making it close, though. It's a 51.29 on pole for Coelho, and the 421 of Leifheit at a 50.529. So 4/10, separating them as the checkered flag is out. It's Coelho and Leifheit on the front row here when we get things started for the first heat in just about an hour time. 206 Sportsman coming up.
to the finish line. Who is it going to be? And it's Sean Perez who wins in Crescent.
Ty Fisher wins $1,000 in KA100 Junior.
Bob John Bird for TV Kart USA on home soil. They take the win in Amarillo.
Amarillo Kart Complex is now the official distributor for TV Kart in the continental U.S. Become a dealer today.
Champions aren't just born on the kart track. At SimShop, we deliver professional-grade simulators with the best performance-to-price ratio in the industry. Founded by racers who understand what you need, our SimMagic and Moza equipment is powerful enough for the pros, yet affordable for everyone. With unmatched customer support and a thriving community, we're your racing partner. Visit simshop.com today. Are you ready to get behind the wheel? From Formula One to NASCAR and IndyCar, all the pros start here. For more information, check us out online at mcckarting.com or call us and go racing today.
Hey, what's up, Caleb?
What's up, Brandon?
You sound defeated. A long day at the office?
Yeah, got stuck at a cat food marketing meeting for like 3 hours. I don't know a thing about cat food, and I don't even work in marketing. And then I got sent on a coffee run like I was some sort of intern. Then at the end of the day, when I want to go get gas, I just realized everything is so darn expensive nowadays, man.
Yeah, you got that right.
Like, do you have any idea how much we're spending on Netflix?
That's like $20 a month.
Do you know how much we're spending on cable?
That's like $50 a month.
But you know what isn't expensive?
Tell me.
Kart Chaser Premium. For only $9.99 a month, you can watch all of the American karting action live from coast to coast. Subscribe and become a member today.
Sportsman out on track for 3-lap qualifying. And it was the KA100 Masters that kind of led the way here on strategy. They showed that the slick pace was absolutely there on this drying track. And we saw before we jumped to break a rapid jump back over to the dry tires.
Yeah, we're ready racing right now, so we're back to back, and you know, we were wondering what was going on. We saw a bunch of drivers pushing to the grid a little late. It seems to us that the slick tires, in fact, Nicky Coelho proved that they are the move. So, yeah, it looks like most of the field rushed to get the tires changed to slicks, and yeah, it's a dry racetrack.
Here's Evan Leash, the De Pere, Wisconsin native, in the rapid refuel car, working his way over the Rainbow Road-esque jump. I say jump, but you can get a little bit of hang time on some of the wheels there, side by side with the 224 of Jackson Benoit. Easy clearance there, and it is the points leader, Dom Gaddis, setting the pace early here with a 56.290. First Route 66 start, for Evan Leash, as he works his way into the technical second section. Yeah, a little bit of understeer there. It looked like
turn 8 is tricky. That is the most technical point of the track. You're braking, turning left, and yeah, it just caught him out a little bit there. That's going to hurt his lap. Evan Leash currently 9th.
As Benoit works his way to the line, currently 12th fastest. A little bit of an improvement there, bumps up to 11 with a minute even .269. Really getting in the wheel there, trying to minimize that aerodynamic hole being punched. Still Gaddis over Tori Daniels, then it's Martinez Carosis in third in the 204.
This should be the checkered flag lap for Dominic Gaddis. sitting second in the points. P1 on track, takes the checkered flag. Ooh, change at the top. Austin Taylor, P1.
Out of nowhere. Second place finisher in round one. Didn't have the Elkhart Lake round he was hoping for, but is about to get the heat started off on a very, very good foot. He'll be starting alongside the 210 of Will Feitlinger. Provisionally, still a couple coming around here for the final time, but I believe at the front that's all she wrote for 206 Sportsman. So Austin Taylor, best qualifying result of the season, as the KA100 seniors get set here in just a few moments' time for their qualifying. Stay with us. One of the biggest fields here for round three, the KA100 seniors, presented by BBS Racing Engines, out on track.
This is the B group. We're split KA100 senior qualifying, I do believe, into two groups. We'll do the same thing later for KA100 junior.
And again, we're talking about just how many karts are on the docket, it's vital to kind of find your proper piece of real estate here to make sure you're not running into other guys messing up other people's laps, but also you have your own good spot of clean air.
Yeah, you just want to, mind your gaps, maybe wait up and get yourself a better gap so you're not bothering anybody else's lap, but so you can get your own clean lap, right? As we see coming to take, I believe this will be the green flag lap for the field. Look at the 912 of Charles Ropke right now on the Hodes Driver Development Tony Kart.
Kind of got that Baja Blast teal going on right now. Beautiful colors for the Hodes Driver Development machine. And in chase, I believe that's one of the Millwright karts.
See, through the Monza now, there's still some damp areas of the racetrack. You'll see that, kind of lighter colored piece of the asphalt. That's where the dry line is, and it's improving and improving fast. But there's still some wet spots out there that are going to make this kind of tricky. And oh, by the way, all the rubber that was built up over the last 2 days gone. None of that.
Are we running kind of a weird hybrid of the dry and wet line right now? We don't really have a lot of sun that's helping us kind of evaporate what we've got on track right now. It's problems further back, but what do we think the approach is right now with these conditions?
Well, I think we're right back to where we were when it was in the dry. It doesn't look like anyone's running in the middle. Like I think we're just right back to standards. Now we look at Wyatt Leslie. Just took the white flag. He's P1 right now in the 954. This is the B group. So we're going to see where this stands. Or we're going to see where this stands once the next group goes out. Taking a look at Ropke now through the final two corners, about to take the checkered flag. Across the line, no, improved to 12. P2.
Starting to tie it up here, but Wyatt Leslie tacks on a little bit of insurance right now. 0.2 of a second between himself and Chaz Variale in the 935.
Yeah, and
for Franklin Motorsports.
Changing conditions like this in the track where we're going from wet to dry, I mean, being in the earlier group is actually going to be the biggest, probably one of the biggest disadvantages that you'll see all year, because the track's still, it's gaining more rubber, it's getting drier, right? So, this next group. And for reference, the fast time in happy hour was a 46.3, and we're putting down for Wyatt Leslie a 47.1. So, about a little under a second off. I mean, it's getting there. We're real close. We'll see what this next group does.
So we're trying to put that rubber back in on the track. But again, we might not be out of the woods yet when it comes to weather. Still potentially a little bit of rain on the docket here. So might not be the last time we see guys kind of making that switch over from the slicks to the wets. Still potentially a couple of weird strategy calls on the way. But you look at what might be on the horizon, it's almost like some new life for guys who didn't make the right call for strategy during qualifying. They're able to jump over now and kind of have rain be that equalizer potentially.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, we'll see. The clouds are certainly dark, but not too. I mean, I think the big stuff came by, and I think we'll be good as we see them take the green flag out on track. Brandon Lemke, Quentin McPherson, the two Millwright drivers going out 1-2. See, there's Austin Olds and MVP Motorsports out fourth in line. There's Brandon Lemke. We were trying to do the research here, trying to do all the math. Counting championships over route, Great Lakes Series, regional, club.
The guy's got a big trophy cabinet. We'll say that.
27, 30 championships.
Is that good?
I think so.
I think so. And he's carried that pace absolutely here in the 2025 Route 66 Series. Pretty much won every single heat, or every time he rolled off at K1 Circuit in Whitelands. Not the Road America Round 2 he wanted. Highlight there was a third place finish in the second heat, but has so far been very fast in the warm-ups and in happy hour practice. And he leads this pack to the second half of this qualifying in the Millwright 901.
See fastest throughout yesterday and this morning for Brandon Lemke. It's pretty much a dogfight in the charts between him and Austin Olds. So We'll see what the Wisconsin Wonder Boy will put down on his first flying lap here.
Out of the final corner. Was coming out front in the move. It's fast, absolutely. Currently best for second, as it actually is an improvement over Wyatt Leslie.
Yeah, P2, Wyatt Leslie still at the top after lap number 1. Very impressive time by Leslie in the first group. Austin Olds, P3. Cale Zimmerman to
out
the
of
top.
nowhere. There we go, the VLR driver from Manitowoc, Wisconsin, puts it on pole provisionally. Still no one able to get back into those 46s like yesterday. But man, Cale is getting close. He might be able to break that barrier here in this final lap. Big pedaling here from Lemke as he gets to the line and gets himself on the front row. First lap in the 46s. Now McPherson jumps him as well. Dylan North getting in there as well. Austin Olds to the front. Shane Reddy getting good pace as well. It's Olds and Reddy now provisionally on the front row. Some big jumps in time as they see the checkered flag, and it'll be Austin Olds leading off Heat 1 alongside Shane Reddy.
And what a lap by Shane Reddy. Cale Zimmerman improves
there we
again
go.
to P4 over Lemke. Brandon Lemke slots down to P5. Alexander Kardashian will be in P6. Wow. Shane Reddy and McPherson, P2 and P3. Cale Zimmerman, 4th. How about it?
Looks like a chunk of debris on track there on the outside of Monza.
A little celebration there from Cale Zimmerman. He knows that he just put down an absolute blister.
What we got there?
We got a chain guard.
Oh boy.
That's not good. Whoever's chain guard that is, that's usually a penalty, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's hope it's not one of the fast guys. You look kind of on this list. Alex Kardashian, Austin Olds. Austin Olds, I mean, a fantastic, consistent start to the season so far, but a lot of guys have not had their chance to shine. And when the KA100 seniors get Heat 1 in just a couple hours' time, some names you might not have seen so far this season up out front. Going to step away here for just a moment. More qualifying on the way.
Florida Kart Racers, you asked for it and we're going to bring it. Introducing Florida Karting Championship, FLKC, a brand new racing series coming to Florida in 2026.
This is Henry. Henry.
206 Junior presented by Bobby Krug Racing Services out on track. And boy, we thought this was going to be a runaway up at the front of the field, but having some big shakeups here. We're watching the 373 right now. As 3-lap qualifying underway for the Briggs Stratton 206 Junior class.
Coming to take the white flag now. 1 lap to go. I like this 3-lap qualifying format we have here. I don't think qualifying needs to be too long. It's also not too short. You get, you get a bum lap if you need it, right? You get a few opportunities. I mean,
you get a bomb, a banker, and then a fast lap, right?
Yeah.
good balance and a good draft here for Ethan Leroy, who's currently fastest. Braden DeMont in second, 53.446, a 4.49 from DeMont. Nearly a dead heat on the front row right now. Actually, that push from the 309 of DeMont actually might be what's helping Leroy get to the front here, as they will be coming to the checkered flag this time by. Over the hump and out of the final corner. Checkered flag is out. Leroy out in front. Here's the run to the line, and DeMont barely edges out Ethan Leroy. A 53.076 from DeMont, a 53.081 from Leroy. Here's in Golseth getting in third with a 53.639. Then it's Brady Shad, championship points leader, with a 6.40. So good teamwork there at the front of the field, Kyle, between Braden DeMont and Ethan Leroy. I'm not sure if that was necessarily intentional or not,
Yeah.
but a little bit of draft and push there.
No, you'll see that a lot in this 206 class. I mean, that's usually, honestly, that's about how it works. So, you know, the first couple laps, you'll see the guy in front getting the faster laps, and then towards the end, you know, the guy in the back doing the pushing will, you know, come and get a faster lap. Braden DeMont, winner from Road America last round, sitting third in the points. Definitely off to a great start today, getting the pole there. Great run.
Ethan Leroy, P3 at Road America. Could be the start of something more potentially. Gonna have to wait and see. Micro Swift and Mini Swift, the low ones coming up next. Micro Swifts out on track here for 3-lap qualifying. And if kart racing is chapter 1 in the racer's journey, this is the first page here, as the youngest drivers for the Route 66 Sprint Series work their way out on track. We're following Dylan Braun. I beg your pardon, Austin Taylor. No, it's not Austin Taylor. Excuse me. Austin Taylor, dominant start with a win at White Castle, or Whitelands K1. Looking to bounce back after a troublesome Road America. It's Bo Wyatt leading the championship without the drop round. Liam 4 in second. Dylan Braun's in third. And it is Dylan Braun who's the fastest on track right now with a 50.636. Taylor second fastest with 51.443. Cameron Apple in third, 51.439. No help for Taylor as this entire Micro Swift field has diluted pretty significantly. Little bit of help coming from behind. Checkered flag is out. Austin Taylor improves to second. No improvement for Dylan Braun, but he'll hold that pole spot provisionally. Big improvement for Evan Leish, who goes from 6th to 3rd. Liam 4 holds 4th. Now Darius Zarenbaugh gets his way up into P4. Major shuffles at the end. Harrison Apple gets himself up into P4 now. Only 3 cars inside the top 50. And now Dylan Braun out of nowhere in the 37. Snipes the pole position. And when Austin Taylor thought he had it, it'll be Dylan Braun and Liam 4 on the front row. So it'll be the 37 of Dylan Braun getting things started in Heat 1. For MPG, alongside Liam 4, currently second in the championship. So second of the IAME Swift engine classes coming out next, with the minis. Micro Swift, 7 to 10-year-olds. Mini Swift, up to 8 to 10. About 20 more pounds allowed for these drivers. That Micro Swift action, by the way, brought to you by Top Kart USA. It's BBS Racing Engines who helps us bring the action here for the minis. Mark Shirlev first across the line here for the Mini Swifts. As 3-lap qualifying begins here for the biggest of the Swift chassis. So consistently we see, if you ask any regular kart watcher what some of the most exciting racing is, it's almost always going to be actually the minis and the micros, just because of how compact this field is. Drafting is mandatory. The kids are brave and seemingly Rubbermaid and able to beat and bang on one another. Case in point, it's never not a good show, Kyle.
Yeah, you almost always get a Daytona, Talladega style pack race from these kids. All of them want to win, and yeah, there's just endless amounts of passing. I mean, it comes from the karts being so small, able to kind of, go flat out in a lot of corners the adults can't, right? But yeah, these kids, they're very smart for their age. I mean, honestly, some of the races I've seen throughout the years.
Ooh, Dom Gaddis around.
That's your current pole sitter. So if he can get back going here, there's no harm, no foul. Still P1.
Trying to get that weight off that axle to get back on track. Gets that thing recovered. That's that final lap out the window.
Now we know that Dom will not get another faster lap, so he's where he stands right now in P1. We'll see if that comes back to bite as we're looking now at Cam Johnson, currently P3. What does Cam have to say on this final lap?
So it's all eyes on Johnson and Michael Siupka, both of which are definitely within striking distance to take this pole away. Gaddis, two runner-up results here in the heats. Are we going to be able to see a P1 for Gaddis this weekend? Cam Johnson doesn't want that. He snatches pole position here with a 49.250 as Gaddis gets jumped by Zupka as well.
Whoa!
Ooh, big Code Brown moment there.
Will Feitinger just
able to gather it back up.
Man, that was impressive.
All that to get himself up into the top 5. Camden Clay in 6th. Yakov Shirolev, P7. And, well, you saw it there first. A lot of these kids driving on the absolute limit here. As trouble for the 100.
Ooh, that was Feitinger. I wonder if, when you go off track like that, sometimes, you'll pop a chain from just going over the curbs, and I wonder if that's what happened there. But yeah, trouble for Will Feitinger on the cooldown lap.
Do you think it was maybe a mechanical gremlin that maybe initiated that slide?
Nah. It could have been, but I think it's probably, yeah. There's the chain. There's the chain.
Oh, there it is. Yep.
Falling off. Yeah. Usually you just get on the curb. And the thing about this track is like you said earlier, the pavement's brand new, newly repaved track, but the curbs haven't been done yet. So the difference between the curbs and the new pavement is about an inch. So if you drop a wheel, you're in trouble. There's in a go-kart with no suspension, and you're in a fiberglass seat, sitting an inch off the ground on some steel tubes. Yeah, you're gonna, knock a chain or maybe scrape the chassis and do some harm that you don't want by dropping a wheel.
So some new pavement, bringing some new challenges, not just for the minis and micros, but for everybody. It's the 206 seniors. Chance to try out this new pavement when we come back. People are saying they asked Grok and they asked ChatGPT. Well, I just asked Kyle Cuthbertson, and he told me it's time for the 206 seniors to qualify here in Norway.
Yes, sir. 206 seniors hitting the track on their out lap. Then they'll get a green flag, white flag, checkered. 3 laps to set your best lap on this really challenging Norway Motorsports Park.
Watching Patrick Brunatowicz getting things started here. The independent driver from Des Plaines, Iowa, or Illinois, excuse me, getting things started. Are you usually the guy that kind of likes to spearhead the field during qualifying, or do you kind of want to get yourself within the pack, get some help from the draft?
Typically, I would rather be either the first one out there or the last one. I don't, because the gaps are gaps, right? But if I'm on my qualifying lap, I usually don't want to see anyone in front of me, or I want to be in the back and just give myself the biggest gap possible. That's usually my preference. There's the, I believe that's the, no.
There's someone we're looking for out here that some of you are very familiar with.
Miles Fodry.
Here at Kart Chaser.
Those black helmets. Yeah, that's Miles Beaudry on the 554, currently P3. Wyatt Leslie there in the 541. Now we pick him up on our screen, P1 after the first lap. Now, it wasn't listed on our schedule to split the groups in 206 Senior, but it looks like that's what we're doing, as this is 206 qualifying Group B. Wyatt Leslie caught in Group B once again. Looks like, but I mean, as we saw in the KA qualifying, Wyatt Leslie, let's see what type of lap he'll put down here. He was quick throughout the entire practice sessions of yesterday and today. White flag, Leslie
on pole.
Back to the top.
Coming off a hot streak at Road America. A second place finish in the second heat, and then stood on the podium for the final. Was a slow start at K1 and at K1 circuit, and has been building up. Could this be something more here in Norway? 1 lap to go. Leslie over Kraus. Then you got Jackson Barr and Miles Faudry looking back at the start of the second row.
Looking at the 514 of Max Kraus right now. You're really gonna want to keep an eye on these TB karts this weekend, as this is the home track of the Fandry Daniels Racing Team, TB Kart. Local TB Kart distributors here. See a big pack of about 8 to 10 of them in this class this weekend.
Oh, hello, Jackson Barr gets the 530 provisionally on pole, 52.220. And something else should be said about a lot of the TB karts in that camp right now. Brand new, pretty much the only chassis of that kind in North America. We were talking about this before we went on air.
In this region.
In this region. One of the newest karts you've been able to drive.
Oh, yeah. That was the first time that I got to drive a brand new chassis. Shout out to the Fandry Daniels Racing Team in TB Kart.
How big of a difference is that for you, being able to, break in a brand new frame compared to something that's been, had a couple weekends under its belt?
It's huge. I mean, I grew up racing mostly older chassis. Could never really afford a brand new one. So it was really my first time kind of going out on a brand new chassis. I think whenever I drove the newest chassis I had, it was like 3 to 4 years old, and we were also road racing at the time, so it made a little bit less of a difference than sprint racing, right? But yeah, it's huge. I mean, the upgrades every year from these chassis manufacturers are just astronomical. As we see, there's Group A making their way out. Now the story this weekend has been Jerry Fandry, but 4 tenths, actually, I think it was more like 6 to 8.
We were getting to the seconds.
In first practice yesterday, took a session off to do some coaching. Practice 2, owner, team owner, doing some coaching. Session 3 once again, 4 tenths up. But then this morning, before the rain, had a bumper fall off in the morning warm-up, and then we go to happy hour, where they came in early with some issues. So the story would tell you that Jerry Fandry is on top right now, and it's going to be hard to beat him. But some troubles this morning are going to make this very interesting to see where he lands.
So enter our dark horse, the 598 Sodi. This is Nagisa Yoshikawa for CKT, the Brookfield, Illinois native, who is new to Route 66, but has absolutely set in some blistering pace here in the warm-ups. This might be not just front row stuff. This could be heat final winning pace here from the Saudi driver, who's already finding some fantastic pace on his own island here.
Yeah, it's not often you see the Saudi chassis in 206 as well. I mean, that's huge.
A little bit of drafting help further behind as we work our way into Monza, the 511 of Connor Fashing, getting some help from Jeremy Mason. The drafting, as we mentioned earlier, absolutely vital to maximizing pace here, especially in the 206s. Further back, you got the 516 of Oliver Gaffer working his way into this 3-car train. As a couple of reshuffles here with the white flag coming out. Gaffer up into 4th, getting the most out of those 2 carts in front of him. Wyatt Leslie provisionally on pole, but now loses it. Jackson Barr and Max Kraus.
We saw earlier in K Senior that it took until the third lap for the A group to really make their mark, but you know, Jackson Barr still on top right now in the session. We'll see where this third lap gets everybody. We see Shane Reddy there in the 5:24. He's currently P7 on his final lap.
Looks like we're actually getting some sun on track for the first time today, and that's going to heat up the surface significantly. Yoshikawa finally gets to the line. It's best for 5th as Miles James jumps him in the second heat. All of the first heat guys, though, first half guys, I should say, completely untouchable. Where's Quentin McPherson in this picture? A 3rd place finish in round 1, and then absolute domination last round at Road America. Where does he slide into this picture here at Norway? To the checkered flag, a little bit of a jump there coming out of the final corner. Just has not been able to find the pace so far this weekend.
And Jackson Barr still on top, makes it out of the B group, still on pole. Shane Reddy, P2, he's the best of Group A. And we got Max Kraus, P3, Wyatt Leslie, P4, and Miles James rounding out the top 5. Wow.
Yoshikawa, Underwood, and others as we are ready to make the jump over to the members only. I beg your pardon. Just a reminder, though, once we wrap up here with qualifying, heat racing will be exclusive to the Kart Chaser Premium members, as we encourage you to join in for the exclusive content and become a KC Premium member. As 206 Masters on deck here. Second to last qualifying session here is already we're off to a fiery start for the 865 KA 100 juniors out on track. And already a little bit of an excursion here as the grip limits and track limits are being tested early here, as we're seeing some big movement there to the top of Monza.
Taking a look at John Antonino. That's not John Antonino now, that's the 812 of Ryan Mort. Ryan Mort. John Antonino goes to the top of the board, Morton second, and as I say that, down to third is Landon Boer now goes to second, Kubinski goes to third, Morton fourth. Taking a look now at John Antonino going down the backstretch into Monza. Antonino had a terrific round 2 at Road America, taking the win in a tight championship battle with Abernathy going in. Abernathy having a couple issues at Road America. It's now Ace Dromalov taking the second spot, Boer in third. Still a tight championship here in KA Junior.
Dromalov still off to a slow start here in qualifying. But again, it's Antonino up in front. Ryan Morton moves up into second.
Antonino still at the top. Still close between Antonino and Kubinski. Just 800ths of a second. Take a look now, Brady Shad going into the Monza. Brady Shad just taking his first national win in X30 Junior.
Third fastest in qualifying in round 1, and a couple of podium finishes for the heats in round 1. Still getting used to this K100 machinery as the 865 works its way over the hill and back to the line. A big look back up in front from the 336. Checkered flag is out, and Landon Pure will jump Ryan Mort for the pole. Shad with a third fastest time so far. Ethan Kabinski in P4 and Ben Abernathy in P5. Championship runner-up in points right now, Mason Dromolev in 7th. Still a couple coming to the line right now. But a big jump in pace right now for Abernathy, almost half a second up from the competition.
Surprising to see Antonino down in P8. It's definitely not the session that he wanted. Dromolev as well in 7th. Big, that's a big lap there for Abernathy after the struggles in Road America and the unfortunate incident that took him out of the final. I mean, that's what you want. That's what you have to start your weekend with to bring those points back and keep yourself in the championship.
So Antonino, with his back against the wall, going to try and fend this off once we get to the heat racing in just a few moments. Starting to wrap things up here for qualifying before we make the jump over to wheel racing. Stay with us. And the Crazy Old Men are back at it here. Last qualifying session of the day for the 206 Masters.
See, there's Lucas Rennick and Noah Stark on track. 1-2. Road America was all Lucas Rennick, taking a second on the field, a lap almost. But this week, we have one more entry than we did at Road America, and that is Noah Stark in the 600. Talked to Noah this morning. Lucas put 4/10 on him this morning, but he knows what he's doing, and he's not going to let that happen. So we'll see if what he says is true. We're going to hold him to that.
Absolutely.
Noah has been racing for a long time. Goes back, family friend of my parents, and he said the last time he ran a regional or anything of this stature was 2014. It was the WKA Grand National in road racing, so it's been a while. He said he's been racing. Obviously, he builds his own engines with the Noah Stark Engine Works. We'll see. It's all Lucas Rennick up to this point, and we'll see where this goes.
It was Scott Hamble who won the opening round for the 206 Masters, who had a P2 finish in round 2 for the finals. Not with us this weekend, but stays in the championship fight with a drop round. But here comes Lucas Rennick, who, as you mentioned, just completely untouchable last round. And then you potentially have this major upset in the form of the 600 of Noah Stark, and he's faster
there it
for
is.
lap number 1, if not but a hair.
He kept his word. He told us, I'm not going to let him do that. He got him. This is obviously the first year that the Route 66 Series has offered the 206 Masters class, and had a big entry list in Whiteland. A little shorter the next 2 rounds, but the class is building. Gives a chance for guys like Noah Stark to kind of dip their feet back into regional national racing, and here we are.
Still giving the opportunity for a lot of these guys to kind of plant the seeds to come and rejoin this class. And with the drop round, again, you've got some guys like Scott Hamble, Matthew Burpo, who can absolutely slide back in and join the party. Checkered flag is out. Stark's been holding that lead. Are we going to see a switch? No, we're not. Noah Stark has played the villain and will start on the inside of Lucas Rennick for the first heat. How about that?
How about that? Yeah, he kept his word. He told us. Interesting that 2 karts on the racetrack, scheduled to have 5 in this class. We saw them in the practice and warm-up, but 2 taking part in qualifying. Maybe some tire saving from the rest of the field. I'm not sure. I'm
maybe
just
maybe
speculating
it's knowing
at
the
this
size
point.
of the field and still knowing you got a fighting chance.
Yeah, this would be the class to save tires in, right?
Absolutely.
I don't know.
So Noah Stark on pole. And with that, that's the wrap up for qualifying. It's time to jump over to KC Premium and get heat racing underway here at Norway.